So I had experienced some sort of racism, or not some sort, like a lot of it. If you're black, don't stand in this line, stand in the line behind us. If you're like, it was toxic, and it was just during welcoming. Classes have not started.
Hima, it's not even indirect. Like,
it's very direct. It's very in your face.
Hima, like they actually taking out the words.
They taking
but
out the words.
As a black person, stand behind us, the white people.
We know the dance better than you.
Would you say that racism ends with the students? Or would you, for example, get into a lecture hall and gengoku, a lecture is like, hey, you okay? You know, like, does it end with students?
I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. Very disturbing. I saw people crying, and I was like, they're not stopping what they're doing. They're continuing it.
Can I just for my own understanding, right?
Yeah.
And
you are watching the Ednowledge Exchange podcast show, the place where we share, learn and engage with students, graduates and experts on their academic journeys. From personal challenges to inspiring success stories, we uncover the real experiences behind university and college life. Have you ever wondered what truly goes on in the minds of students and graduates? The struggles, the breakthroughs, the game-changing tips that can transform your academic journey? We bring you raw experiences, expert advice, and unfiltered conversations to help you navigate university life like a pro. Hit that subscribe button and let's dive into the ultimate knowledge exchange.
welcome back to yet another episode of EduKnowledge Exchange. And as always, I am not alone. Today we are joined by our beautiful guest from the University of Stellenbosch, Annelisa Mob. How are you?
Hi. I'm good, on yourself?
Nah, I'm all good. You are a student at Stellenbosch University.
Yes, I'm a social work student, second year of my very long degree.
Oh my God, how long is it?
It's actually 4 years, it's not that long,
okay,
but like
I was like, you're maybe 7 years. But I literally just want to dive right into it, right? I want to take you back to Annelisa as a child, or as you would prefer, Ulisa as a child, right? Growing up at home, what kind of a child would you think people would describe you as?
Oh my word. So I'm still this kind of a person, but like I've dumbed down a bit.
Yeah.
But like a bubbly, outgoing, very active child. I would just not keep my mouth shut, you know. I love to talk. Hey, I'm just very, I'm an active child. My mom always used to say that, you know, ek kan nie my mond hou nie. That's what she would say in Afrikaans. Yeah. But like, yeah, that's the kind of person I was. I was very active. Like, I wanted to do everything under the sun. And my mom never stopped me. My dad never stopped me. They believed that, okay, anything you want to do, you can do.
You can do.
So that's why I was like that as a child up until probably when I was in grade 11. I was like, okay, I've done it all. I've experienced it all. Now we can like get
take
serious.
A chill pill.
Yeah.
But like, funny now that you're speaking about grade 11, I want to know, at school, were you also like the kind of child who was a teacher's pet, who was, I don't know, like, you know, in primary school, we used to have those kids who would ask to do the teacher's hair. Were you that kind of a child, or were you reserved? And yeah, I don't know.
So, funny story. Back in primary school, I was a troublemaker. I was not...
Okay.
I know. I was not like your teacher's pet or anything like that. If anything, my mom was called to school so many times.
Why?
Okay. So this one, you know Monopoly?
Yeah, the game.
So yeah, this is when we got introduced to Monopoly. I went to like an Afrikaans colored school, you know.
Okay.
Home languages, Afrikaans, everything was cute. So then my teacher introduces this Monopoly game, and she shows us how to play, you know, with the fake money. But then we were seniors, so we got this bright idea. What if, you know, we print out money, like actual money in color, and play with it? So then the younger grades thought it was real money. So they would play with real money and would actually, like, you know, win they're real money. We didn't know. Okay, we did know it was real money, but we printed out fake money. So we got in deep trouble because of that. Because of that. So yeah, we got called to.
Those were adult things. Let's start there. Those are adult things. What heist movie were you guys watching?
I don't know. And then this other time, I don't know if people remember the Neisner fires.
Oh yeah.
So I'm from Plate. I went to school, primary, high school, Plettenberg Bay. So the Neisner fires were actually in Plate as well. It was very spread out. And my school, my primary school was like in the middle, but it didn't get affected by the fire, which was so weird because why not? I really.
And then did you burn your school?
No, I didn't. I did. But anyways, there wasn't electricity or water. Yeah. So then, the planes came and deliver, water in like little bumpy thingies, man, like water that you would usually like suck from like a juice box or something like that.
Yeah.
We had water and now you have this big boxes filled with all this water. What are you going to do with it? It's summer. So that's when it all started. We stole the boxes, put them on the field. The staff was still having a staff meeting. That's when we start spraying everyone with water. Yeah.
No.
It was one good day. It was hot and there was water. So obviously, master
and
plan.
There's no suspension.
No, man, they loved us.
Expulsion.
Although we were troublemakers, we were very good academic students. We literally were top students. Like me and my friend group, we knew how to prioritize our studies and our academics. Yeah, we 24/7, we would be in trouble, but like we would also know how to like be good students at some point when it comes to academics.
For interest sake, I just want to know, was this friend a male or a female?
We were a big group. Our friend group was divided into males and females.
And majority was?
Majority was definitely the females.
No, man.
And we dominated. And for us, how soccer is seen as like a boys' sport.
A boys' sport, yeah.
We didn't know. If you didn't play soccer, then you were weird. Everyone had to play soccer. Every girl had to play soccer. So we also used to gamble with...
Wait, this is still in primary?
This is
still in primary?
Yeah, this is still in primary. My
guy.
We did a lot, but...
Now, I want to know, you are this person in primary who is just causing so much trouble with your friends, right? And then you go to high school.
I did a 360.
Were you still the same?
No. I don't know what happened to me. I did a 360. It was like my spark just left me. There was nothing to do. Now it's like a different environment. Now you're surrounded by, more top students, people from different races. People's skin colors are different than yours. Like, now you need to be observant, because I went to that high school because of a bursary. So this bursary helped me through my primary school. Now they got me into like a cute top high school where girls only wear skirts. We don't wear pants. Ooh. And, you have to be very observant. You check your behavior. You could be out just like that. So I did an entire 360. I had to be like, okay, I need to think about my future. I need to, be a good girl now.
And in this particular high school, your friends are not there with you?
Yeah, the friend group split apart. But now there comes other friends. And I'm not going to say they were also, yeah, they were.
I mean, if they were troublesome, then it just means that you were the problem from the get-go.
We were the bad troublesome, but like a little, but just like a little bit. But like no one would notice the things we would do because, yeah, we were just not that hectic anymore.
Hey, my guy. but now, and now this is another question. In terms of, because I'm looking at how you were in primary school and how you say you were in high school, right? And then in high school you had to take life seriously because at any given time or you might even lose the bursary and all of that. At that time, are you thinking, Bana, hey, as soon as I leave high school, I want to be a lawyer, a doctor, a dondon, a what? Are you thinking about any of that?
Yes, I am, because I don't know, man. The high school I went to made it for you very clear that, listen, from day one, you need to know where you're going in life. Otherwise, if you don't know where you're going in life, you haven't made it in life. So you had to have a plan. And it's so weird that I didn't think of social work back then, but like because of what was happening around me, at the end of the day, when it came to a choice, it was so obvious that I was going to choose social work. Because I wanted to be everything. Like I said, I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a model. I wanted to be everything. But then reality hit. And I was like, oh no, actually, this degree wants me. I don't want it, but like it's calling for me. You understand? So I just found a connection with it. I had to have a plan. I'm so sorry. I was in grade 8 and people were already planning what they were going to wear for matric.
Wow, sure. No,
And I was
man.
like, wow, how did we get here? People were so serious. And like, that's when it hit me that you're not in that same environment that you were for like 7 years. This is high school now. People are literally thinking of serious things. You need to be focused now. And it was the same with academics as well. From being like a top, very top student, you're now like in the top 15 and not even the top 10 or top 3 anymore. That's when I was like, okay, I need to wake up. So
Yeah, you with the big dogs.
Nope.
But now, you say, Bana, is social work basically called you?
Yeah.
Can you please elaborate on that? Like, what do you mean?
So because of where I grew up, Plettenberg Bay. So Plettenberg Bay is like any other town. It's divided into other smaller areas.
Yeah.
So I grew up in an area called Kranshoek. It's like a very Afrikaans, not Afrikaans, but like colored, mostly colored people, but you get other, like it's also diverse. You get your Sothos, you get your Xhosas, you get everyone. Majority is definitely colored, and it was founded by the Griquas actually. So there's a lot of social issues, and my mom is that kind of a parent that like she would help anyone under the sun, no matter what you do to her, she will help you. So my mom was always a giving kind of person. She would give, and I'm not gonna say that Kranshoek had the best of everything because people struggle, I'm not gonna lie. So because my mom was doing all of that, I just had a calling for social, because my mom would work with social workers to get issues fixed and things like that. And I also had like some encounters with social workers because of things that I also had to go through. So because of the encounters I had with them, they've impacted me, and I actually realized that, okay, I can actually do this. Like, if it wasn't for some social workers, I don't think I'd be sitting here right now in front of you having this conversation. Or I don't think I would have been like as wise as I am now. Because like I said, in primary school, I was a troublemaker. And that 360 also didn't just happen. I had to come into terms with myself and be like, okay, this is not how you were raised at home. Even though there are issues, this is not how you react to those issues. So if it wasn't for social workers and me being one with myself and realizing that actually this is calling you, that's how I became one with social work.
Hey man, it's as much as you're not going into detail as to what might have happened, but it's like I can just hear it from your voice, man. But something happened, and it was like, hey, vuka ntombazana, or else.
Yeah,
life will just
like
pass you by,
one thing.
and
it was
all
like
of that.
A lot. Like throughout high school, it was a lot of things.
Yeah.
And every time, I remember, like, I've met so many social workers in high school, so many of them. And every one of them would, like, have such an impact on my life. So a lot of things had to happen for me to come into terms about, okay, Vuka, you're the only person who can get yourself out of the situation, honestly.
And as much as a lot of things might have happened, but rest assured, there's that one thing.
Yeah.
There's that one specific moment. And then you're like, whoa, fine. It's been a build up, and now I'm here. And now, if I don't fix this particular thing, then, it's chai for me. But would you say, Bana, those specific social workers that you have had encounters with, are they the reason why? Or wait, do you actually look at them and say, Bana, look at them and then look at what they've done with you or done to you, and then be like, I also want to do that for someone else, what they've done for you?
Yes, there's a particular one. It was the last one I met. I was probably grade 10. That was the wake-up call, the actual wake-up call. But like what she had like advised me to do, she was so calm. I've never met someone who's so calm. She was so calm and she was so welcoming. And then she spoke to me and then she was like, you're going to get through this. You're not the only person going through this. And I was like, oh my word, I actually want to help someone who is actually also going through this. And the way I was helped, it's like a miracle, actually. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But I'm so glad that she had actually had a conversation. That's all it took. A conversation and me actually listening to what she had to say about how to get through certain things in life. And that's when I was like, yeah, I actually need to do this.
I mean, shout out to her, man. Like, shout out to her. Okay, so now I want us to dive into something different, right? Not even different, but like, yeah. So I'd like for you to share your experience in varsity. And when I say experience, I mean, how was the transition from high school to university? You know, like, because we've got a national problem, right? Every time when universities open, whereby there are people sleeping in student centers, registration problems, you know, finances in general, and a whole lot of other things, right? So with you specifically, have you encountered any of that? And also, but no, just answer that and then we'll get to the second part.
Okay, so if people are quite familiar with the town Plettenberg Bay or the Garden Route area, you'd know that it's dominated by, you know, the white race. So I had experienced some sort of racism, or not some sort, like a lot of it. Like I said, transitioning from primary to a high school that is a worse school. So Afrikaans, not even Afrikaans to the core.
Yeah, because, sorry to cut you, but in the Western Cape, you know, we've got Afrikaans and Afrikaans. And when you come to this side of the Western Cape, people speak Afrikaans, which is the plat Afrikaans, waar almal praat met hulle tong al. And then you've got the, okay, I don't want to say it like this, but it's kind of derogative, but like Cape Townians say it like this, it's boer Afrikaans, like boer savor Afrikaans.
That's what they call it. So like back at home, they speak savor Afrikaans. So I've had racist encounters, like many of them. So the transition from high school to uni, I knew what I was getting myself into. I'm not gonna lie, I knew this is still the Western Cape. I'm actually going deeper to Stellenbosch. You understand? Where it was made, cooked. Where they created it themselves, like the institution. You understand? I knew what I was getting myself into. But you know what was weird?
Yeah.
I didn't encounter anything weird last year, my first year. This year, the beginning of the year, I'm a second year, I'm in a leadership position. Then a first year, like she's new to Stellenbosch. Their race are like mostly white people, but their leadership, you also have some black people in leadership, but they were so racist. And I mean, you know what you taught at home, you're gonna do to other people. So it was that kind of structure where, you know, the leaders don't respect us, so obviously their newcomers won't respect us. And then this first year, we were doing a dance. So I'm part of the culture committee and things like that. I love helping out with dance because I love to dance like a lot. So we're teaching them the amapiano part of the dance. And you know, it's like you're teaching white people the amapiano part of the dance. They, at their age, they already learned it, but they were not taught by me, the person who created the dance yet. So now I'm teaching them, like I'm telling them, okay, do this instead of that, do that. Uti, she says to me, I was hurt. I'm not gonna lie. She says to me, she says it in Afrikaans. Can I say it in Afrikaans?
Yeah.
Wat dink die swart meisie weet sy van die dans?
And what does she know?
So basically translate, what does this black girl think she knows about this dance?
Wait. So by saying that, she's basically thinking, when you're not the one that created the dance. Someone taught you, and then when you just transferring what you were taught.
Probably. So, you know, that's the first thing, and I'm like, it's in that okay, like this can't be true. Like, okay, I look at her and I'm like, okay, keep it calm. But now it continues to our newcomers where they get bad treatment from their newcomers, where they're like, no, if you're black, don't stand in this line, stand in the line behind us. If you're like, it was toxic, and it was just during welcoming. Classes have not started.
Hima, it's not even indirect. Like,
it's very direct. It's very in your face.
Yima, like they actually taking out the words.
They taking
but
out
as
the words.
a black person, stand behind
Stand
us,
behind
the white
us.
people.
We know the dance better than you.
It's our time to shine. We must
Yes,
dance, and
we know
everyone
the
must
dance
see
better
us.
than you. And the minute you
you
tell
guys.
them, guys, just listen to us. Look at what we're doing. You don't know what you're doing. You understand? Hulle weet nie wat hulle doen nie. Hoe kan hulle die dans wil verander? That's what the leadership
Yeah.
of that team said.
And the leadership, the person who's a leader there does
Yes.
not know, but are you the one that created the dance
No, she
as
knows
well?
I'm the one. She knows I'm the one. The person who's the leader, she knows I'm the one. She knows it's me and other two girls. We're the one. We corrected this dance. And I don't understand why they made Amapiano the main dance. Because Amapiano is part of the other three dances. But then they decided, okay, let's make it the main dance. Meaning, Hongkumtu
Has to do that.
Yes. Of which I was going to pick few people like when you, okay, you do the Amapiano. And we were going to include everyone. Every skin color was going to be there. Of which I don't understand why they decided, okay, everyone has to do it. Now that everyone has to do it, it's a chaos because you have more than 300 students that you need to teach the dance to. You understand?
Yeah.
You know
man.
Fensters?
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
That's what we're practicing for. We're practicing for Fensters. And this is going to be the main dance, Amapiano dance. And you get told by a first-year white student that you don't know what you're doing.
But also, please, for our viewers who don't know what it is, please try and explain what it is.
So Fensters is a concert that Stellenbosch University hosts every single year. It's so cool, actually, for the newcomers. So you have a dance battle. It's actually dance off, show us your moves, show us your choreography. It needs to accommodate to every culture. It needs to accommodate to every race. There has to be an Amapiano, there has to be Afrikaans, there has to be every kind of music category, and you need to show off your dance moves. So leadership has to get an entire committee that's going to help with the dance moves and choreography and everything like that. So I was on that committee. Fensters also has an after party. So after the students have performed and they crown the winners, then you get your after party. Last time Mr. Teller was there. That was before my time. And I was like, Mr. Teller, why could you wait for me?
Oh my gosh.
But the after party is also very nice. So that is Fensters. And I feel like it's one great thing that they do for
Initiative, yeah.
Yeah, for the newcomers to feel welcome and to feel like, okay, this is actually going to be nice. But after Fensters, it actually doesn't get nice because that's when the real
Academics.
things, academics.
But like, man, okay, not moving away from all of this, right? And because Stellenbosch is labeled as the varsity with the most racism scandals, discrimination scandals, and all of these, right? I just want to know, with so would you say that racism ends with the students? Or would you, for example, get into a lecture hall and a lecture is like, hey, you okay? Does it end with students?
It doesn't. I don't know if you can go to our SRC page or anything like that.
I can do that.
But it's on Instagram. So we've had countless of things happening where the SRC has released a statement of Stellenbosch University staff members using racial slurs. They didn't know they were speaking to a SRC member, actually. Yeah, we've had, beginning of the year, there was also this one incident. It's not an incident, actually, where, this particular, I don't know, is it a race or what? They had blackface who were at the Nielsen. Nielsen is a student center, our mini mall.
Yeah. We
So-
thought you guys have more inside.
They literally put blackface paint on the students' faces, mind you, white students. And then they had earwhoops like shambox, and like, it was very disturbing being there in that and seeing it all happen. It was I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. Very disturbing. I saw people crying, and I was like, they're not stopping what they're doing. They're continuing it.
Can I just for my own